Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we're basically playing catch up today. We're going to get around to a bunch of the Shonen Jump chapters that dropped. So we've got two Akane chapters to get around to. The chapter that dropped last week is the one, as well as the one that dropped this weekend. We've also finally got a new Kaiju chapter out as well, along with a new Spy Family chapter. So lots to look forward to. Like I mentioned, hopefully read-throughs will resume sometime next week. With Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle leading the charge. I still have to play some catch up this week, and I'm going to be busy with other stuff. I'm going to try my best to get it out, so look for a proper channel update, hopefully sometime next weekend on Saturday or so with some more semi-concrete plans. But yeah, look forward to that. Hopefully it'll be good now that summer's here. If things are a little bit slower, it'll be nice to get back to that. Apart from that, if you do hear noise in the background, I do have a fan running right now because it is boiling hot outside. No one wants to see me steaming inside my own skin while I'm trying to record these videos. I did some tests, and while the noise you can hear the noise in the background, it shouldn't drown out my voice or anything unless there's a prolonged silence. It really shouldn't be too overly distracting. But in case you're wondering what the noise you're hearing was, I have a fan running, so that's what it is. Without further ado, we're going to dive into Akane-Banashi in a second here. Before that, as always, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really is more important now than more so than ever, because Twitter is becoming slowly more and more unusable. So it's becoming harder and harder for me to try to promote and market my content on there. So if you like my content, if you like to support what I do, please press those buttons. It really does help me out a lot with YouTube's algorithms promoting my videos. And it does mean a lot to me because, when you see those notifications pop up, it lets me know that people do enjoy and like my content, which, kind of gives me the motivation to keep going. Oh, God, I swear, I don't know why my beard hair is just tickling the hell out of me today. But yeah. With that said, let us dive into it with Akane-Banashi Story 63, The Worst Compatibility. As we have translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer Aron, story by Yuki Tsunaga, art by Takamasa Moe, with Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya. And you see back in the performance room, it's, what was his name? He was so blind I can't even remember. Zenmai. Zenmai back in the green room going, only 75 points is the leadoff performer in the selection round? It's not bad, I guess, but it's not exactly good either. That's kind of sort of good score, the least memorable of all. It's like, man, I wish I hadn't drawn the short end of the stick and gone first. And you see Akane coming up and just dropping a mug of tea in front of him with a, good job, here's some tea. He's like, what is that, pity? She's like, huh? It's like, you saw my pathetic excuse for performance ended in an embarrassing score and thought you'd at least serve some tea to make me feel it better. Admit it! And she's like, pathetic? No, Onisan, your rendition was really, really good. And he's just looking it up as he's just like sobbing. And Akane's like, the problem is the judges. Based on the way the scores varied, I'm guessing that each judge is looking for completely different things. This is actually a really difficult group to please overall. And he's like, yeah, exactly! It's like, so if I could adjust my performance to match their preferences, I would have done much better. And Akane's thinking, like, the preferences of the judges. In that case, I think Kaiichi has, and says, like, the worst compatibility. And Kashio's like, the thing that got him into the selection round was the sheer volume of laughter he got, I'm guessing. But if he reaches too hard for laughs, and sees, like, it'll be a repeat of the last guy, so he's guaranteed to lose, huh? He's like, oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Remember, he used to be a top-notch salesman. And you see Kaiichi heading up onto the stage. It's like a man used to making numbers go up with his gift for a gab. And he starts off with, in many Rakugo stories, you'll find a recurring character named Yotaro, who's portrayed as a bit of a dunce. Yotaro, what are you doing? You're helping out of the shop today. You have Golden Bamboo. Yotaro works for his uncle's antique shop, and finds himself getting into troubles in humorous ways in the Zenza-Banashi. It's like, Yotaro, why are you clipping the cat's claws? It's like, I'm just doing what you told me, uncle. You've got to keep your nails trimmed. It's like, yes, you, not the cat. Look at the poor thing. It's sliding across the roof without his claws. And you see the comedian guy just his glasses off. He's watching this going, Golden Bamboo, a Zenza-Banashi. That's a smart choice. Zenza-Banashi are highly polished little stories. They don't need wrinkles, and you see extra puns and wordplay, because they're funniest when performed as is. The Zenza stage is for learning the fundamentals of Rakugo. It's best to stay true to the roots for now. And sorry. God, what the hell was the other dude's name? I cannot even remember. Zenmai, sorry. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember his name. And he's like, you can tell he's playing it very plain for the judges. And Akane is like, no, that's not it. He's feeling the room, trying to sense the audience's mood. And you see him continuing with, make yourself useful and clean out at the front, Yotaro. Go and fill this bucket, then use the ladle to spread the water about. He's like, okay. And you see him just dumping something out. It's like, no, fool, you're spilling. I said spread. Just swing back and forth like this. And he just starts swinging. It's like, swing back and forth. It's like, no, that's not what I mean. It's like, oh, I get it. It's like this. And he just starts like doing dance moves. It's like, not that kind of swinging. I'm talking about the ladle. Swing the ladle. And you see the audience just roaring with laughter. And even the... you see a little twink as the comedian's eyes are like crinkling as he's also smiling. And you see Akane and Kakashi watching in shock. It's like, huh? That last part isn't in Golden Bamboo. It's like, why is he threatening me? He's like, oh, I can't do it. It's like, kitty kitty hiss. It's like, wait, for that matter, none of this stuff is. It's like, stop threatening me. He's like, where are you, uncle? It's like, he's gone blank. It's like, after what happened to the last guy, he's throwing in every wrinkle he possibly can. And you see him just doing like multiple poses and jokes. It's like, reading the room and adding jokes if the crowd is receptive is a typical thing to do at an ordinary show. But this is a competition. He's being judged. And you have Zenmai being like, are you serious, man? He's making my performance look straight-laced by comparison. It's like, lean into this hard into it, and that judge is going to think. And you see the judge just like chomping on the glasses. He's like, this is stupid. It's like, I'm fine with that. Sorry, I just thought I might have misinterpreted his earlier thing, but it's like, I'm not trying to gain the traditionalist esteem in the first place. There's only one thing I'm seeking here. The smiles of the customers. He does the little like heart-shaped pose. It's like, if everyone else is happy, then I'm happy too. It has to be that way. Because if I lose sight of the smiles to focus on the numbers, and you see him just sitting in this empty office with company values, honesty, dedication, emotion, gratitude, and unending love for the customer. And you see him with the little plaque saying, #1 yearly sales. It's like, then what was the point of quitting sales in the first place? And you see him sitting it down with the thunk as you have Ichino-en with Isho Arakawa's solo performance. For getting his backstory next chapter, I'm excited for that. But yeah, I guess some quick thoughts on the chapter. Not much to say about Zenmai. He's got, obviously chip on the block. Still kind of just plain stuff. Nothing really still stand out about him. But again, it's interesting because I don't know if it's Akane going last in the performance. I can't remember if we had the order of performances. But it'll be interesting to see if Akane is kind of like going to base her performances off like what she sees the other doer stuff, or how that's going to affect her stuff. But it'll be interesting to see like how all the others kind of approach the challenges. Because the first one kind of went out there, completely blind, did not know what the challenge was setting up, like what the limitations and stuff were going to be. Then the second one went into it fully eyes open, like fully knowing what he's going to do, and chose this very specific kind of approach. So it'll be interesting to see how Hikaru and Akane kind of adjust theirs, depending on how Kaichi does his performance. But yeah, it's interesting. Apart from that, not much to say about his. It's kind of interesting focusing. I don't know if the sudden switch where it looks like the comedian was really into the performance until the end, where it's kind of flipped around. It's like, oh no, he's actually not going to like it at all because he's starting to overdo it towards the end. I don't know if that switch really worked in this chapter as well as it did with the last chapter. But yeah, apart from that, not much else to say with regards to his performance. Again, we didn't really see like a lot of that. We just kind of saw again, this is stuff I've pointed out before with Akane. Like the moments where it suffers the most are kind of where it uses exposition a little bit too heavy-handedly to kind of get across the impact of the impact on the audience and like what we're supposed to see and like what the reader's supposed to be seeing and feeling. I feel like those are always kind of the weakest moments of these chapters, which is why at the end performance you're like when we're being told like he's adding in like all these little extra bits like all his like individual mannerisms and stuff into this. That's why I didn't really like think land with the same impact as having seen him do like the show not tell kind of aspect to it. But apart from that, I did like that the chapter kind of ended on the cliffhanger. Like it seems like we're setting up to go into his backstory to kind of find out like why he became a performer in the first place, which might give us more insight into like why Isho chose him specifically, or what about Isho's performance inspired him to become a performer. So I'm really looking forward to that kind of background stuff. So yeah, apart from that, the thing was a good chapter, but I think it set up more interesting things than it delivered on the chapter itself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that stuff. With that said, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you like this video, if you like my content, and you haven't already, please do consider like, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it does really do a lot for me with YouTube's algorithm because it gets a serotonin boost when you push all those little buttons. It also helps motivate me because lets me know that you enjoy this kind of content, you want to see more of it, which gives me the motivation to keep creating more. Like I mentioned, Akane, Kaiju, and Spy Family chapters will be out today, and hopefully I'll have a proper channel update sometime next week with regards to read-throughs and stuff like that. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.